Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me. One more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Call to order this meeting of the Fitchburg Board of Public Works for July 21st, 2025, held in the Francis Huntley Cooper Chambers. Attending tonight, to my left, Alder Jetzer, myself, Member Dave Wilborn, and Member Kim Lobdell is on via Zoom. I do not believe we have any public appearances for non-agenda items tonight. So that brings us to agenda item 3, Alpha, approval of the July 7th meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
So move we approve July 7th meetings.
Moved by Dave Wilborn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Discussion, changes, modifications? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor of approval of the July 7th minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Next, we have item agenda 4, report of the Director of Public Works, Mr. Tim Volker, P.E.
Thank you. Good evening. One follow-up item from our July 7th, 2025 Board of Public Works meeting was regarding the water fountain at Chicory Meadows Park, and that water fountain was replaced. It was the water fountain by the playground, and it was replaced within the last year or two. And then next up, a couple project updates for this evening. I'll start off with the Saline Road reconstruction project with phase 2. All the underground utilities have been installed except one segment of a stormwater pipe. The grading and curb for the 9 Bark Drive Central Park Place roundabout has been completed, and the concrete flat work is anticipated to be complete this week. And then the contractor is anticipating installing the asphalt binder at the roundabout next week. And that was for phase 2. For phase 3 on our Saline Road reconstruction project, the contractor is still excavating and backfilling with the select crush material. And they're anticipating to installing the culverts and other associated stormwater improvements later this week. So that's for phase 3 of the Saline Road reconstruction project. And then our 2025 street resurfacing project, the library parking lot was resurfaced and striped last week. Contractor is currently looking to pave Executive Drive, Marketplace Drive, and Schumann Drive this week. And the contractor is also currently grading Longford Terrace and Leopold Way, and they're looking to adjust the manhole starting tomorrow. And then paving of Longford Terrace and Leopold Way would be early next week, as long as the weather kind of holds out and stays dry. And then our second street resurfacing project, that's our 2025 ARPA street resurfacing project. That's being completed up in the Belmar neighborhood. All the full depth resurfacing streets have all been paved. The contractor is currently milling this week on Cochise Trail, Red Arrow Trail, Sentinel Pass, Pawnee Pass, Genuine Road, Renaissance Drive, and New Freedom Lane. And then paving of these streets is anticipated to start later this week, weather dependent. And then lastly, our 2025 street maintenance project, that's our crack filling and chip seal project. Bids are due this Friday, July 25th, 2025. With that, does anyone have any questions?
Board members, we open up. Bill?
Yeah, so I was looking through the finance agenda for tomorrow night, and in amongst the checks, there's one for Thunder Road for contingency for, is that for last year's road maintenance?
Yes, that would be our 2024 street maintenance project. Thunder Road was the contractor on there. So if that was the retainage payout, just, we walked through, did the punch list items, and they completed that. So therefore, we cut the check for the retainage.
Okay, it was labeled as contingency, so I was wondering how we are on that budget.
We would be under, if we hit the contingency, we are still within our budget, just within the contingency amount.
I didn't know if there was anything subsequent to this that might have to be paid
That
out.
could have been, because I know there were a couple change orders on that project that were paid for by the contingency, so it might have been those items. So without looking at the actual payment request, I wouldn't be able to really rattle off that off the top of my
But you're
head.
not nervous. Right? Okay. And then along the same lines, there was a check for $300 to Tri-County that was also labeled contingency for the 2025 street resurfacing. So are we?
The check was only for $300?
I think well, that's what my notes say.
So Tri-County is the
seems
contractor doing our 2025 street resurfacing. That's the capital project, improvement project that we have. I'm not sure why it was only $300, maybe $300,000.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And I could pull it up here.
While you're looking that up, Tim, how do we, do we pay partial as these go along, or is it, at the end when they complete all the work? Is there a payment schedule on this work? Just kind of curious.
Yes, typically what happens is a payment request the contractor would submit per month if it's a multi-month project. So whatever they completed, they would submit kind of the quantities. We would review it. And as long as it's acceptable, we would cut a check for that. Sometimes there is back and forth with the quantity amount because we do go out and inspect and measure all that prior to payment.
Okay.
And it looks like the Tri-County's $236,000.
Well, it says here 249, but
249.
But there are multiple line items, one of which is contingency, and it's $300.
Oh.
So it's like, check number 128998.
Yeah, and it could have been one of because it is street resurfacing, the water, the valve box adjustments. I know if we go over in the valve box adjustments, we typically have to hit that contingency, and that sometimes we'll be out in the field and notice a valve box that once you rip up the pavement needs to be repaired because we couldn't see it from the surface. So that's most likely why it's $300.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So the water utility line item is only $450.
Right.
So that was probably, we anticipate you need to, mess with a few of these things, and you needed to mess with a few more, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Anything else, Bill?
Nope.
Dave, Kim?
Nope, I'm good.
I just had a comment. I want to thank the Public Works Department. Last week a tree fell down on my street. It broke at the base, and it was partially out in the street, and a car could have run into it. It was blocking actually the street in the court, and I called the city, and it wasn't long until Travis showed up, and we got our chainsaws out and cut it up, and then the next day, the city came and cleaned it up like it was never there. So we appreciate that prompt service. All right. Then we'll move on. Our agenda item 5A, review of utility P-card and check payments. So open up to the board. Any questions you have? I had one when I can get down to it here. If I can find it.
I do not have any questions.
Okay. Dave, no? Bill?
Nope.
I had one, it's on page 6 here. There's a number of them on 625 check 128884. They're all to Civic Systems LLC semi-annual support. Is that software support for our billing system, or do you know what that one is?
I can take that or look that up real quick.
Could you look it up and just send us an email, or if you want to look it up now, that would be fine too. I didn't recognize that one. That's the only reason I asked.
Bear with me. The check was 1288.
128884.
Yeah, it's a semi-annual support UB, if that UB means anything to you.
I wasn't.
So yeah, this is a payment the finance department pays on behalf, and it's Civic Systems. Looks like it's for our support and maintenance, most likely for the utility system billing.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Thank you. Any other questions on that? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 6, agenda items A, resolution R 22824, accepting subdivision improvements in the inspiration of Swan Creek certified survey map. This was postponed from January 28th. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Moved by Alder Jetzer. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kim. Looks like it's one lot there, or one section that we are approving. It was delayed. Were there punch list items on this one, Tim?
I believe we were waiting for MG&E to install some electrical, and kind of why it was put on hold. Winter came, and we had to wait for that to be installed once the weather turned nicer.
Okay. All right. Any questions on it? It looks pretty standard. Okay. Before we go on, a little off the agenda, but people watching, a lot of people have asked what is going on Spoke and Sprocket. And MG&E is putting in a 400-pound high-pressure natural gas main through there. It starts at their Fitchburg substation there and goes out on their system. And a lot of people say, "What is this?" You know, it's been going on for a while, and so just when you mentioned MG&E, I'd throw that in if people watching have questions about that. They had to bore under McKee Road. It's quite a project. Okay, so no questions. Then I'll call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R 22824, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? I'm sorry, Kim. I got to slow down for you. It's approved unanimously. Next, we have 6 Bravo, Resolution R 10625, approving agreement for subdivision improvements in the plat of 7th Edition to 9 Springs. And this, again, was postponed from June 24th. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Moved by
I
Alder
can
Jensen.
move to,
I'll let Kim approve
I'll
that
second.
one, and Bill second it. How's that? All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So again, they had not completed some of the work on this one. You had punch list items that were open, if I recall.
This is actually the original agreement for subdivision improvements.
Oh, okay.
So that the City of Fitchburg Common Council on April 8th, 2025, by Resolution R61-25, conditionally approved the 7th edition of Nine Springs plat, and then the Land Division Ordinance requires the execution of a contract for the public improvements prior to the signature of the plat. So we're looking for the SIA to be approved, and this is for the Rehabilitation Center, UW Health, Unity Point Health Meritor, and then Life Point would be the entity running the Rehabilitation Center.
Board members, any questions on this? Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, on page 3 of 19 for this, page 15 in the packet, 1.03 pathways, it specifies an 8-foot wide multi-use path. Why is that 8 feet instead of standard 10? And I'm not sure where outlot 41 is either. That I don't think that was listed on the map in the materials.
Mine says a 9.5-foot multi-use path.
So does mine.
9.5-foot public multi-use path access easement and maintenance agreement. And if you look at the bottom line on that page.
Okay, you're right. An 8-foot wide multi-use path within said public use easement.
Right.
So the map on Exhibit B, which is the phasing plan, page looks like 17, kind of shows outlot 41. It runs kind of through the middle between on the west side of phase 1, east side of phase 2.
Oh, that's right down the middle. Okay.
Yeah, so it's in between. So that lot 65 is the rehabilitation center, and then phase 2 is another proposed development that will be coming forth sometime in the near future. So the outlot 41 also includes a road there, but then there's the path on the west side of the road, and there's going to be with the curb and the 1.5 foot buffer in between the curb and the 8-foot path. So due to kind of the constraints of the site, it was 8 feet is all that could fit in between there without infringing upon the lot to the west.
Any other questions on this one?
No, I guess thanks for pointing that out. I didn't realize, I had assumed this was like going to be, a standard path in a regular transportation corridor rather than cutting through their property.
Through the property.
Good question, Bill. Thank you for raising that. All right. Anything else? Seeing none, then we'll call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R106-25, signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Next, we're on 6C, Resolution R112-25, approving Amendment 1 to the agreement for engineering services with KL Engineering for construction-related services for Jamestown Quarry. This was postponed. Kim, can I ask you to turn your sound off here?
I will do that. I'm
Okay.
recusing myself.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve?
I so move that we approve Resolution R-112-25.
Second.
Moved by Dave, second by Bill. Tim, you want to run down what the amendment, what changed?
Yes, so the city entered into an agreement for subdivision improvements for the plat of Jamestown Quarry, and the subdivision improvements in this plat include construction of public infrastructure that will need to be inspected by a representative of the city. The city will not have sufficient in-house staff to provide full-time construction, observation, and management services for the public infrastructure improvements in this plat. So the city received proposals for engineering services back in February 2024, and KL Engineering was determined to be the most qualified consultant to provide construction-related services for this plat. Staff has negotiated a not-to-exceed fee of $48,529 for the construction observation services as outlined in the attached amendment. The subdivision improvement agreement specifies that these services are invoiced and paid for by the subdivider. So we're looking for council to approve the amendment number 1 to the agreement for engineering services for construction-related services for the Jamestown Quarry in an amount of $48,529.
Okay. I would say they should have very little travel time in this. You can see it out. They can see it out their window. Okay. Questions on this one? Bill?
Yeah, this is like the whole
It's a
area
pass.
there with the multifamily as well as, like from K-Pec down to McKee?
Yes, and the road, specifically, it's the roadway improvements and the traffic signal modifications where we would lean on KL engineering that the heaviest. Right now, we're managing kind of the utility installation with in-house staff, but kind of once the roadways gets going and the traffic signals, we would rely more on KL engineering for that.
So
those
you're talking the
services.
intersection McKee and Fitzroy Road?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. All right. I just add it's not related, or it's kind of related to this project, in our CIP, we're adding a large apartment there down the intersection, just down from there, we have a roundabout planned for that should facilitate, the additional traffic and a future school and other things. Okay. All right, any further questions? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R-11225, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is approved. Kim, you can unmute yourself again. Next, we have Resolution R-10725, approving agreement for subdivision improvements in the Uptown Hills Certified Survey Map. We have a motion to approve.
I move approval.
Moved by Alder Jetser. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kim Lobdell. All right, standard standard agreement. Is there anything outside the norm on this one, Tim?
There's a couple things. The subdivider will be installing a 12-inch water main along Haight Farm Road to the eastern plat limits. So the utility will reimburse them for the incremental material cost difference between a 10-inch and 12-inch pipe. And then also we have the Madison Metropolitan Sewage District charges, the Saline Interceptor charges for this development, and then the sanitary assessment along with that.
Is you mentioned the interceptor, that has not been installed yet, has it?
That has not been installed.
Okay. All right.
So that's kind of, we look at, because of the development of this project is kind of why we're looking to extend the Saline Interceptor to Lacey Road for this development.
Any questions on this project? Yes, Bill.
Yeah, so it says there's to be a 5-foot sidewalk along Haight Farm Road to the roundabout there, but going north from the roundabout, there is only a multi-use path. What do we expect that to look like in the final state?
Let me just pull up a map. So their sidewalk would go from the west property line to the east property line, and then the city has a CIP project for Haight Farms Road, and then at that time we would look to kind of make the connection between the existing path and that sidewalk. We'd look to, and I could pull up the project. I believe it's to urbanize that section of Haight. Yeah, so it's to reconstruct Haight Farm Road from Lacey Road to the bridge over Highway 14. And we would change the section from a rural to an urban section with curb and gutter, and continue the pedestrian path as part of that project. So that's currently proposed in 2028 for construction and design in 2027.
I know the residents along Haight Farm, have asked about a bike trail on there. It's not very nice to ride on there.
Is that gonna go all the way out to
Really no
MM?
shoulder.
What was that?
Is that gonna run all the way to MM?
Currently, it's not proposed, only to the bridge, Highway 14, that the section on the east side of that bridge, we're not proposing
Okay.
currently.
So it's just gonna stop at the bridge?
Stop at the bridge.
Any questions on this? Surprised Mr. Haith isn't weighing in. Okay. No questions, and we'll call the, give me one sec here, page back up. I'm sorry, Kim, did you have any questions on this? I wasn't even looking up.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Then all in favor of resolution R10725 signify by saying aye.
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 The motion carries. Next, 7A, our next Board of Public Works meeting is August 4th, Monday at 5:30. If you can't make it, please let me know. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move we adjourn.
Moved by Dave Wilborn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Bill. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.